Yeah, brothers, I'm watching the episode of Cheaters. I just had to point out to you fellas. This brother here, he's one of those brothers that changed the way he talked. You know, if you know, you black guys know what I'm talking about. He's dating a white chick, and then he finds out she's cheating on him, and the black came out of him. He took off like a bat out of hell to find him. And look who she's cheating on him with. Do you think it'd be another brother? No. It's a scary ass white guy. I mean, this dude didn't even fight back. So this brother, you know, he had that type of way of talking. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I think positively that we should actually try that. And she wanted to look at porn, and I didn't really want to look at porn. And then the black came out. Motherfucker! You could hear him. He left the camera crew behind, and you could hear his voice. Motherfucker! What the fuck? And now he's chasing the rabbit. And little Becky Sue here she kept denying the shit over and over again. But I want to say something about this. See, he probably came on like a hardcore brother. That's what attracted her. And then he switched up. He stopped partying. He got a good job. He wanted to support her. He didn't want her to have to work. She works as a waitress. He wanted her to stay in the house, take care of the kids. And apparently got all emotional. She mentioned how you keep crying. I guess he's crying because he didn't want to be away from her and stuff like that. And yeah, just threw dollars at her. He's calling her a hoe. You gonna be a hoe? Here. Well, apparently this was an old school friend of hers, but she chose an even weaker male. Look at him. Cowering on the ground. I'm not doing a racial thing. I'm just trying to show you that she chose a weak motherfucker because he's willing to do the fun stuff. She wanted to get into bondage, and I'm sure he was right there with her. Whereas bra man didn't want to do all that. He got weak and simpy in the relationship. So she lost interest in him. And she chose him, even though he's a Zeta male. See? He tried to come back, but he ends up running again. That's all he does is run. I feel sorry for the guy. If I was a small white guy and that brother was coming on me, I'd be upset too. But the point is, when you get into a relationship, especially if you're black and you're dating interracially, she's not there for a white man. You end up, I think positively that we should maybe try sex tonight, dear. You end up doing that, and she wants, bitch, come here, get your ass in the bed. Motherfucker, who's the fucking pussy is this? That's the man that she wanted, and that's what she wants. She's going to lose interest in you. Okay? So, why date you when she just have a white guy? If she wants, dear, are we having sex tonight? Why date you? If you become like, kind of like that. No offense to my Caucasian viewers. So, let me show you the end result of the pussification of this motherfucker. Okay, watch this. Look at him hugging. Oh, that's why he lost her. You see the weakness there? The bitch assness? Okay, so you just saw the real inner character of this dude. He's weak. As I said to you, weak men produce weak results. If you follow what I teach, every morning when you wake up, you should be reaffirming that you are a player. If you're one of my guys. Not a mix and matcher, not a PUA, not a dater. You should be reaffirming that you're a player. Why? Because if you reaffirm that you're a player, you will eventually change your energy to that of a player. That means life will bring to you what a player gets. When I was trying to teach my boy Craig about this, I would tell him that, he was asking me, why do you meet so many girls? And I said, because I'm a player. Life brings to me women that want to be played. By the way, you may feel sorry for the women that were with me, but don't. Okay? Something in them drew them to me, even though they knew I was a player. You heard what Jovita said. You look like a super player who could get any girl in the room. She still had that in her that she needed to be played. The boyfriend before her, the boyfriend before her was a player. The first one that she met after she divorced her husband was a player. Okay? So she still had play left in her to be played. When you are a player, you change the universe around you so that life will bring you women that want to be played. That's just the way it is. That's why us players get all these chicks that are there to be played until they learn their life lesson. We are the catalyst in them learning their life lesson. They invest their heart in the wrong men until they learn. Okay? So we provide an important step in a woman's personal development. When you know the metaphysics of it, you can see the truth there. For example, I was getting a lot of girls that had been abused, right? And let me find my book, 7 Steps. Hold on one second. I'm scrolling through my book, 7 Steps. You all should have my book, 7 Steps. I just learned that some of the guys on my forum don't have my book, 7 Steps. Inner game. You must develop inner game. The player level is about being a bit more of a smooth type of character. So to help develop a series of exercises that will boost low self-esteem, I created several self-hypnosis programs. Yep, I did that. When I was a kid, there was that whole thing called transactional analysis. I'm okay, you're okay. My dad had the book, and I actually, got the book and read it. And because I was working on myself as a kid. The inner player, pimp, parent. Okay. Now, I attracted girls that were, basically, they were physically abused, sexually abused. I had abuse going on in my life, but it wasn't sexual. It was verbal and physical. Beatings, but most of it was just a typical black upbringing that most of the black guys can identify with. But I also had the other stuff, the mental stuff. For example, I was told you will never be smart enough. The older you get, the stupider you get. You guys probably heard that one. Even the Portuguese have that same saying. This one really damaged me. You're not light-skinned enough to meet my dad, son. Can you imagine if your father said that to you? My dad, he was a functional alcoholic at the time, and I think that's where that came from, plus his own issues. Imagine, I'm black. I can't meet my own grandfather. That was his own issues. That did a lot of destruction. Because I was mad at my mom for being really dark-skinned, gray-black. And I was thinking, I would think that, if she had been lighter-skinned, I would have been lighter. That's bad. You're not tall enough. Because my little brother grew so damn tall. For my mom, you're evil. She really thought I was evil. I was called a wench. I got the black thing, all men are dogs. They'll fuck their own mother. I actually confronted her about that a few weeks ago. Do you remember saying that to me? What the fuck was that about? And why'd you call me a wench? That's what you call a woman. You'll never be nothing but shit. Your older brother is way smarter than you'll be. That's just a few things that I experienced, plus the physical abuse. It wouldn't have been so bad if it wasn't just directed at me. Maybe I have the middle child syndrome, but I do know that my upbringing was not the same as my older half-brother or my little brother, her little baby. So I kept attracting all these people, these girls that were abused. Okay? They had their own abuse going on. When I healed that within myself, I no longer attracted them. Jovina has never been raped. She has never been sexually abused. Several of the girls that I was dating before that, several of them were, and several of them were not. I started seeing a switch, a change, as I was doing the healing. And it's refreshing to be around girls that are not damaged. Nothing against, no offense to you if you're a woman watching my show and you were sexually abused or have some kind of fuck up in you. There are women out there that get the whole religious programming and they retreat inside. That's another fuck up. They become Jesus freaks. They don't experience, sexuality and life. So when you represent yourself as something, when you become something, you draw to you all the things that thing that you are gets. This fellow that was on the show last night, jacking off, thinking about his ex-girlfriend and crying. So I said last night, I know what he's doing. I would do stuff like that while I was fucking a chick. Think about my ex getting fucked by other dudes and, gang banged and shit like that. Just so I could feel something. And I realized, because I knew about energy, that's bad. You don't want to do that. See, this fellow is projecting his energy at his ex-girlfriend. He's also African American. So we have that energy thing about us that they're training out of us. They have trained out of us. So he's projecting his energy at this girl. His force, his nature, especially when you have an orgasm, you release a huge amount of energy, of metaphysical energy, of spiritual energy, of biological energy. All three of those powerful energies explode in the universe, focused at her. What do you think the end result's going to be? She was going to go out there and just fuck lots of dudes. She's not going to think about him. He thinks maybe it'll bring it back to her. No. His thought is she's getting fucked by other dudes. Now, when you reaffirm that you're a player, as I said, you get to experience the joy of playing other women. If you're a good player, that means you're real cemented in being the player with every cell of your body. Everywhere you go, you get to experience as I did. I go to Vegas. There's a girl on the dance floor with a dance with another black dude. I walk over. I took her from him. She would fly me down to the Los Angeles airport, put me up in the hotel, come over. We'd have some really good sex. I go to a outdoor venue, meet a white chick, boom. Everywhere I went, I got to experience being a player. If you're on my channel, you should have my 7 steps so that you know what I'm talking about and where I'm coming from. I went through a lot growing up. That's what I liked about human design, because I'm what's called a manifester. And manifester children do get abused because they don't, our auras are not like anything else that parents are used to. We're like, 5% of the population? Let me share with you some of the elements of my book, 7 Steps. I got to get through all the exercises you got to do in there so I can teach you guys something here. So as I begin to make my mental shift, I made out a list. I want you guys to do this yourself. Make out a list. As I wrote, a player is always confident in his game. When I was up against taller, better-looking players, I drew from my own life the things that I knew were good about me. I listed all of my good qualities down on a piece of paper, and I would mentally feel them. Did I say think about them in my head? Did I say run over them in my mind? What did I just say? Feel. Now, if you're an IT type of guy, you probably don't like feelings, but that's like nitrogen to your brain when you learn to feel and use your feelings the right way. Feel them whenever I felt a lull in my confidence energy. So I started with my mental list with I own my own business. I'm into metaphysics. A black guy into metaphysics. Think about that. I'm intelligent. I am attractive. I am nicely dressed. Number 6, the most important. One of the most important. I can make love to. Do you hear me say fuck? The old in and out. Do you hear me say smash? I can make love to any woman in here and give her the best orgasms. And those are just a few of the things. So today I want you guys to get out a piece of paper and write down all the things that are good about you. And for 21 days, I want you to read that list and feel them as you read the list. Okay? Feel them. The majority of you guys who are listening to me, you have what's called a lack of self-love. You don't love yourself. That's what's causing all your problems. We don't love yourself. You let fear in. You think a girl's going to reject you. You see things in a negative. Now, I don't want to share personal business, but there's a client that I had that I got him to go get a date with this girl. And then he went back to the second date. He said, no, I'm working that night. And he thought he was getting majorly rejected. I explained, no, she's got to work. So that makes me realize that he has something going on in his self-esteem. What's funny is the guy's a good-looking guy. But even good-looking fellas can have things going on in their self-esteem. So that's a sign of lack of self-love. When you have the shyness, the low self-esteem, the fear, the self-hatred, and all the other problems that'll fuck up your ability to meet women, including fear of having a small dick. That's just a lack of self-love. You got to learn to love yourself. And that's what that list will help you do. Find the good things that are, or the things that are good about you. Okay? Find what's good about you. And revel in them. Let's see. Dealing with hoe tests. When they test your credentials as a player, they will do something that will determine if you are worthy or not to wear the crown, and to see how much you will put up with by calling your ass at the last minute to break a date. A bitch will be vague when accepting spending time with you. The hoe might say some shit like, I might have to drop by my parents, but I might be open. Why don't you call me to confirm? And if you simp your ass out and do call her, she'll be busy. She will show up to meet you over coffee, bring a friend or a relative, yeah. Your ass is expecting to tap that ass. And she suddenly remembers she's got to stop over at parents. Or, I'm not going to be here this weekend. I'm going away with my ex. Those are some of the things that I've seen online. Okay? Then I give what you say to a bitch, which she tries to test you. You can say a certain phrase. Okay, I understand that you want blah, blah, blah. It works. Attitude is everything. I forgot how good this book really is. The program is 27. I'm going to provide this, make sure every person on my forum has a copy of this book, has bought a copy of this book, in other words. I want to share with you, step 2 is outer game. First, you start, step 1 of 7 steps is inner game, then outer game, learn how to dress. As you get through that, and that's not my expertise, there's videos, links in there, working on your body. Step 3 is to use the business methodology in your entire life. Because as I said, it's like this, fellas, you are the CEO of your life. You need to think like a business because you're running your life should be like running a business. And I teach about the 3 types of girls. Arthur Gordon popularized that. And I'm trying to get you to back engineer who would want what I have to sell. Where can I find those women who want it? How do I package myself to them? How do I sell myself to them? Since I've been in the game trying to help fellas, I've been all about back engineering. Finding the girls that like what you have to offer. If you're a nerdy IT guy with your little glasses and your little prim way of talking, then you want to find girls that like that. There are girls that like that out there. Okay? I'm going through the book. I'm giving you different techniques here. Okay? Then we're looking at environment. And this was originally, environmental factors was the kid. I just corrected it. The kid was all about being pimp tight. I'm all about being a man out there. Not sitting there waiting for a girl to approach me. How many of you guys think you're good looking enough that a girl's going to think you're just all that and run up to you? See, that's not me. And try to pick you up. That makes you a bitch as well. And that only attracts aggressive females. If you're even good looking enough to achieve that. So I talk about the 4 C's. Clothes, crib, car, and conversation. Some of you guys don't have your own crib. Some of you guys don't have your own car. A lot of you guys don't have a good conversation. Hopefully you at least have the right kind of clothes to attract her attention. More exercises, environment and marketing. The rifle approach versus the shotgun approach. Shotgun is hoe chasing. Rifle is narrowing down. I learned that in basic marketing. Again, applying business to my life and the game. I advocate finding your purpose and what you're passionate about in life, then actively going after your dreams, as I've been trying to get you guys to do. When you're working for your purpose, you radiate a different energy than the guy who's just working at Subway. You can work at Subway and still have a purpose in life. That guy, you take 2 Subway workers, one is just working there every day, going home, smoking weed. You take the other one, working at Subway, he's got a purpose in life that he's working for. In his part-time, when he goes home, he works on that. Who do you think the one wants to be with? Black weed smoker, or black guy that wants to work for something better to better himself with? That's all about finding his purpose in life. Who's found his purpose in life. And he talks to women about that. When you do that, you have that energy about you that attract women. And it says that this guy, I definitely want to ride his coattails. Again, nothing ever says you have to deliver to. Step 4, a player sells good conversation. How many guys' conversation is on point? If the PUAs taught conversation stuff, I wouldn't have a problem with them. If they help guys get their confidence, teach them how to dress, basically what I'm teaching, I wouldn't have a problem with them. I go through all the different styles of, asking leading questions, reflective questions, all these different styles that you can incorporate into yourself. Workbook exercises, silent questions, one-word questions, clarifying questions, redirecting questions. So you guys who think you know conversation, you don't know jack shit. You ever heard of a negative question? Yes, us against the world. That's what I'm trying to get my one client that I just talked about. This girl is 20, in her early 20s. He's in his late 30s. I'm trying to get him to... wrong one. This other client, she's Chinese. He's African. And, Chinese are very focused on their education. This girl suffers from anxiety and depression because she's so wrapped up in getting that degree because of her father. And I'm trying to get him to separate from her father. So it's those two against the programming of her father. Because she's under therapy about that shit. And that'll help them win the pussy over. When you control the mind, you control the pussy. Okay? You control the mind, you control the pussy. You get whatever kind of pussy you want, however you want it, when you control the mind. That is a flat-ass truth right there. Anybody else teaching that? Don't ever ask a girl how she's doing. Ask how she's feeling. Okay, let me go down here. Let's see what else I want to share with you. Oh, yes, my email seduction. A player gives good sex, and I'm teaching about... this woman said to me, now listen, figured you must be doing your voodoo on me or something. I was all about energy. I project energy into my women. That's why I got into Reiki healing, because I could move energy. I practiced that in high school. I told you fellows there was a show by that guy named Kreskins. He had a Friday night, horror movie show. He'd have psychics come on, and I practiced the exercise they had. So I learned about energy at an early age and how to move energy. I don't care if you don't believe it. Fuck you. I know it worked in my life, and look at my results. So she says, it is like you are the love that I am so glad I had, and hate at the same time, because I know that it will never be the same with anyone else. She writes, the energy, the intensity, the passion, the connection, all of it was and still is magical for me. That's what I did to women. And I have been missing it and you a lot. I don't want to know about all of your moving on plans. I don't want to know about your girlfriend, which was Jovina. She wanted to hook up. I said, no, I'm trying to do this girlfriend thing. She goes, I am assuming it is all good if you are cutting me off completely. I cut her off. She said something bad about my little brother, because I'll spend a lot of time. I was actually trying to heal him. And I taught Jovina how to do healing, laying of hands healing. And my little brother said, he was telling his wife, because his wife told me that after that, he always felt weird, like he was like out of his body. But we didn't get to him in time. He found out he had cancer in June. He died in August. It was at the last. We were able to give him peace. That's all we could give him. So he died peacefully in his sleep. And it still affects me. I'm glad you can move forward with that part of your life. Just know that I still carry you with me every day. How many of you guys, women, say that kind of shit to you? None. Because you come in half-assed. You come in weak. You don't use your energy the right way, like I'm trying to teach you. I'm still in love with you deeply. And as much as I have been trying to shut that part of me off, it has been an uphill battle and a losing one at that. Should go to therapy. I have lost a lot of excitement that I have towards sex and things of that nature. Just honestly, hadn't had a desire for it so much, knowing that it wasn't you on the receiving end, I guess. So I don't need you to respond to this, as it may just make matters worse for me. She's still attached to my personal Facebook account. She now has a boyfriend. So I don't need you to respond. Just know that I have nothing but love for you and wish you the best with your life and love in the future. And they always like to use those emojis, but written ones in parentheses, the words all caps, hug, or she would use kiss. Yours forever. Sex with a woman is emotional, because it's emotional for them. So in order to be good for her, she must feel an experience not only in the physical pleasure, but emotional release or pleasure as well. Let's talk about the technique of good sex first by looking at a woman's body, and I go in to teach you about a woman's body. Now, this woman said to me, and this is the one that would fly me down to LA. She was married. She was in LA because she found out her husband was cheating on her. And she was ready to have sex. Right time, right place to get played. Get it? Her husband played her. Her husband played her. What walks into the room but a super player? Of course she's going to be attracted to my energy versus that other black guy's energy. So I had the guts to come up behind him and start dancing on her backside. And eventually I turned around to me and he skulked off. I don't know why I did that. I was in Vegas. I would never do that. I don't believe in that kind of stuff, but I was feeling my oats that night. I was feeling my power. You make me crazy, Chris. I crave what I feel when I am with you. In all caps, crave, extreme, passion, you know. Actually, I'm wondering if that's her. That's a different girl with the same initial. Yeah. And this one, she got pregnant by me. The condom went up inside of her. We had to dig the fucker out. And I took her I went through an abortion, to be honest with you fellas. I took her there. She didn't want it. She was white. All her kids are white. She didn't want to bring that's why I talk to you guys who, about, white women. They don't want to have a biracial baby. Okay? Many of them don't. It's not fair to her kids. Because, their friends will make fun of them. You got a nigger for a little brother. You know how kids are. So I teach about putting your finger up inside the pussy, how to get the G's. As I said, all the stuff that I teach came out of 7 steps. Now listen to this woman. I beg to differ with you with great respect. You are the only person in my life where I have truly felt your joy, pain, love, and passion. When you go at a woman all plain-faced, you Caucasian guys, being all strict. Hold on. All strict and stern. Well, I really think you shouldn't really do that. Well, it's idiocy. All that trying to be all intelligent. They can't feel you. Okay? So where I've truly felt your joy, pain, love, and passion from one end of the world to the next of the world. Till the day I die, I will never feel that again. That's what women have said after me. Chris, being with you today made me feel so many things. Has your women said this to you? These are real quotes that I cut and pasted because I was trying to teach in the game. I didn't start this until I got online. Before that, there were no emails. I just got a computer in '99, AOL 3.0. One of my clients heard the AOL, you got mail last night and started laughing at me because I still have AOL. But I don't have I don't even know if they even have the AOL where you pay for it. I have the free. And it's still my main mail server. You guys who bought my products know. So Chris, being with you today made me feel so many things. Revived, recharged, rejuvenated, refreshed, fulfilled, content, adored, loved, desired, obsessed, surrendered. I'm dominant. I make women surrender to me. Consumed, I consume them. Passion. I feel so full of you. I put my energy in her. You are still inside me. Now listen. In my mind, heart, body, my soul, even as I write this. When I'm with you, a supernatural thing, in all caps, happens to me that I can't explain. I know that I could literally die in your arms and would not even care. ... That is how powerful this is. I lose my mind to you. Actually, I give it to you along with everything in me. That's pimp. I can completely surrender to you as I have never been able to ever in my life. What are you guys doing to your women that you can't achieve the results that I have? Let me finish this. You are inside my head. I told you guys to get in their heads. I love and crave what I feel when we are in each other's present. Present, she meant to say presence. It's Prescents, what she wrote. See, I had her fucked up. Almost to the point that I am afraid I can't live without it. Now I am sounding like a crazy person. What did you say again? When I'm with you, a supernatural thing. What are you guys doing to your women? See, a lot of you guys thought I was just some old fat black dude. I wasn't fat when I was in the game. Again, I wasn't fat when I was in the game. So I came with my A game, and this is the end result. You want your women, as I wrote, to crave being with you. If you're nerdy and geeky, you're uptight and nervous, she will not crave being with you, fellas. You don't want to be nerdy, geeky, or uptight. That's awkward. That's not powerful. The best thing I learned long ago was to relax and act so whenever I was around women. Yeah, I learned to just relax. Even if I had to fake it. And there was a time where a couple times where I faked being relaxed. And from there I just forgot about it. I started, doing I studied acting, so act like I'm just cool, yeah, ain't nothing wrong with me. This is back when I still had issues with how hot they were. I even would act eccentric if necessary. Like I told you guys, the older woman, I went to her bed. This is my first time in her house. She showed me her house. I went to her bed and flopped around like a fish. She thought that was so cool. She'd never seen anybody do that. I'd act like a big kid at times or a stern father to keep things interesting instead of boring, as I talked about recently, not being boring. Okay? So then I go into, let me tell you guys how to fuck. Or I should say, yeah, how to do the physical act of it. Now, I'm not a pussy eater, but I did know how to eat pussy. I gave you also in there these rejuvenate exercises that will increase your natural energy for sex. I found them online. If you open up the file and connect it to the internet, I believe it should play the... No, it's not playing them. Either way, I show you how to do the positions. I wrote it out. And the starting positions. I got to get back to doing these, in fact. Because these are a great way to start your morning. This one is called Downward Dog. It's just 6 different positions you do. It takes us a few minutes. And it will rejuvenate your sexuality. Here's something. Power to command, the quiet confidence. This woman's talking about alpha males, but I wish I hadn't put that in there. This woman from takeitInhand.com. takeitInhand.com/the.alpha.male.and.masculine.power. Great article that women talk about how alpha males make them feel, but I don't want you guys to read that stuff. Okay? Because it doesn't belong in this community. in my observation skills, I said I'm gonna steal a few words from The Kid, and I guess it's actually The Kid from the Pimps Network. I add that in my book, and he talked about it. Then I just told a couple words from it though. Then I wanted to talk about Arthur Gordon. These are things I found online. Did I give you an exercise? Did I talk about eye contact? Great book. If you're on my forum, you should have this book. I'll make sure that I have a link to where you can buy just the book itself. I sold it before, and then I took it down instead of people having the program. The program is much better, but I recommend that you just, if you're on my forum, get the book. That way you have the game right there. All that you need. I even talk about how to walk into a nightclub. From there, I expanded to my nightclub pimping. I gave you all the stuff that I used in the nightclub. Even how, in words, how to test a female. Put your hand on a trap. I talk about, going in for the tease. Everything. So, all of my products, I said, they come out of 7 steps. Out of the basic of the game. If you just get 7 steps, you'll be good to go. I go into more on eye contact. I'm going to have to go back and reread my own book and start doing some of my podcast shows from when I get through with the 30 Days of Success programming. In fact, I want everybody on my forum to have the book so that we can go through it. I can coach them on it. Okay, fellas, that's my show for the day. I'll do a live broadcast maybe later on today. You guys have a good one.